Funny how far a man's debts will follow him.
What? Why are you in my car?
You got some money for me, boy. I seen your name in a ledger.
This is a cease and desist order. And are you wearing joggers with suspenders?
I didn't want to change my pants for the bit. Red Dead Redemption, Red Dead Redemption 2, Red Dead Revolver even. I absolutely love these games. I feel like right now is a perfect time to make a video on the Red Dead Redemption games. The Pinkertons just made a return to the spotlight. There's been a push for an HBO series to be made about it, and Jack Black even made a song in reference to it.
It's an incredible journey through old American history. Fighting for your life and fighting for your family. Try to live your days with honor and integrity. That's not a game, that's an adult thing. That's not a game at all. That's like f***ing Shakespeare.
He's just like me, dude, except usually I'm wearing clothes, like most of the time. But I legitimately love these games. I still get teared up over Red Dead 2. You may be thinking, like, how can you get emotional over a video game? And I'll tell you, it's because
that is not a game. It's an incredible...
Let me lay this out for you, okay? You, completely emotionless during the most gut-wrenching scene in cinematic history. Me, tearing up every time Arthur Morgan says, "You, sir, are a fish." It's not just the story, though. It's the fact that Westerns have this inexplicable hold on me. You mean to tell me that not only can I experience a Western, but I get to be in the Western? I play the I am the Western. I'm the guy with the cool hat and the gun. Do I get to shoot people? That shouldn't be the first question I ask. That's not. Do I though? And now that I've played all these games, I've been craving something a little more. So what do? Do I replay New Vegas or emulate Gun from the GameCube? No, of course not. I already did those things. No, I'm thinking that I need to turn to a more unconventional source to get my fix. And where better to look than the Google Play Store? Believe me, there is a lot of quality content on the Google Play Store. So I got my phone right here, and I figured we're just going to take a look at what the Google Play Store has to offer. So we have some options already. Here we have Guns and Spurs 2. I've heard great things about Guns and Spurs 1, so I can only imagine what this has in store. Hunt down animals or release the curse and become the hunted? Okay. Beautiful open world. The West is yours to play the way you like. Alright, so that's like Red Dead 2. I'm definitely intrigued by the release the curse or become the hunted. So is it like doing like a Undead Nightmare type thing or what? So we definitely have this one. I'll go ahead and install that one. I'm gonna destroy my phone. Alright, next up we have Dirty Revolver Cowboy Shooter, and this one I thought was really interesting because it's really trying to be Red Dead 2. Like it looks like if you tried to render Red Dead 2 on like a PlayStation 1. The main character looks like Arthur Morgan. A lot of these towns look like they're the towns from Red Dead 2. So, you know, another ambitious one. So we're gonna give it a shot. Next up we have King of the West, and the image looks like if someone took Arthur Morgan and then like ran him through an AI filter. Plunder resources. Co-op fights await. Oh, is it multiplayer? Okay. Gonna do some Red Dead Online type stuff. Do people actually play this? Am I gonna encounter other players? How are you? Nice to meet you. Ha! But yeah, that's one for the hoppers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download these one by one and kind of play through them and give you my assessment of them, I guess. Kind of like a Danny Gonzalez, exactly like a Danny Gonzalez video. So without further ado, let's see what Google Play has to offer. So the first game that I downloaded was Guns and Spurs 2. Not to be confused with Guns and Spurs 1, probably. The real ones know. Where are my Guns and Spur heads at, huh? Really? You exist? You're real? Okay. So I booted it up, and it had a nice opening cinematic. Feeling like a real cowboy. They start you off running around like a train station or right outside one. The controls they're pretty much what you'd expect from a mobile game. It does have a call horse button, which I thought was pretty cool. And then you walk over to a sheriff where you can initiate a tutorial where he shows you how to like shoot and stuff. kind of weird. Is that what sheriffs do to new people? Nice to meet you and all, but can you handle a weapon? First things first, you need to know how to protect yourself. You see those crates over there? Stand behind them and get into position. Try shooting down those targets. Targets? These are living men that the sheriff has just pulled from the depths of hell. You know in Fallout New Vegas when you first get to Good Springs and you meet Sunny Smiles, she offers to teach you how to shoot. So you go around back and she's like, shoot that. And it's just a guy named John. You don't really have to aim in this game. It just auto targets, which honestly is for the best. It would kind of suck to have to aim every shot you take in a mobile game with your stupid touchscreen. Okay, I have to admit that you are really good at shooting. Were you rooting against me? Were those your friends? You need to learn to catch your enemies alive, though. That's why you should use your lasso, too. Good job defending yourself against those fully armed and dangerous criminals. Now try taking them down with nothing but a piece of rope. This cannot be your job. You want me. You want me dead. Dude, the arms. So that was the end of the main tutorial, and now I'm off to my main objective. But immediately, I am ambushed by some foul ruffians. Not to worry though, I can take— I'm dead. Pretty nice that I respawned so close, like 20 feet away, with like no repercussions. Oh hey, it's a stranger. Hey there, what an impressive horse. You know, you can make some real easy money taking advantage of it. Different horse racing events are taking part every now and then around the area. You can test your horse riding skills there. Okay, horse races, that'll be fun. It was not fun. Not because the gameplay was bad so much as the gameplay didn't exist. The horse races did not work. I stood on the little flag icon and everything and it just— nothing. But feeling only slightly disappointed because racing would probably be pretty janky on a mobile phone, I decided to head into town. Hey, cool, I can rent a space like in Red Dead 1. I don't have enough money though. I like how I only become wanted after I've fully murdered this man, not after I shot him the first time. The wanted system was actually pretty good. It worked a lot like how the standard GTA Red Dead wanted system works. You'll be wanted for a time and then that'll slowly decrease as you're separated from the town. Except in this one, towns do not hold grudges. Sure, you may have murdered every man, woman, and child in the town, but that was 60 seconds ago. Come on, let bygones be bygones. Well, I got money from killing that guy, so I think I'm just gonna up the ante. I'm just gonna do it again. After you buy your way into home ownership, you can now save your game and you can also like buy different outfits. But enough of cosmetic stuff, okay? Enough of the silly little goofy cowboy drip simulator. I need to head into town the rest of the way to get to the quest marker. Hey there, glad to see you again. I just killed all of your deputies. Am I part of like some kind of plot to get revenge on your department? I feel like I am. So let me tell you how things are. This town is in really bad condition. Criminals roam free and do whatever they want. Yeah, I guess I kind of do, yeah. So he gives you access to the bounty board, which is really the main objective of the game, is to get as many bounties as you can. You can catch them and bring them in for more money, or kill them dead and bring them in for less money. Pretty basic, right? So off I rode to catch my first bounty of the game, and I died in water. I drowned to death on my horse with my head outside of the water. I guess that is pretty true to Red Dead 1 since John can't swim. But that's fine, right? Like, they just respawn me back at the train station, and I'll head back over. Where's this bounty again? Hold on. I think it reset me. Yeah, it reset me. It reset me. I had to go back to Hopeland. The first town is called Hopeland, sorry. Talk to the sheriff again, reacquire my bounty, and head back over. That's alright, though. I'm finally back at the bounty area, and I'm finally ready to just kill— Oh, I died. And it put me back at spawn point again. So I had to go back into town, reacquire the bounty, and then ride back to the bounty location.
You ain't making it out of this alive, partner. You killed too many people, and I don't need the extra money. I
I can just kill people. I can just kill people for it. Right outside of that area, I found a hunting mission, which is pretty cool. In Red Dead 1 and 2, you can kill an animal at any time to collect a pelt in Red Dead 1 or actual meat from it in Red Dead 2. In this one, I think it would be a little too hard for a phone to be constantly rendering animals running around, so they condensed it into a mini game where they'll just spawn it in the map and you shoot them once you initiate the quest. And while I was hunting, I found this doohickey. What is this? From what I can surmise, basically you have to break all of these to unleash the curse on wherever this is. I actually didn't do it because, number one, I knew what it was going to do. It was going to just set a bunch of zombies loose and you have to kill them. But for another thing, I'm not going to go around doing collectibles for a mobile game. AAA games have a hard enough time getting me to do collectibles. So I went to the nearest town and decided to stop by the saloon. I don't know about you guys, but I am feeling like a drink. It's pretty cool. Kind of atmospheric. Got some piano playing in the background. Good to know. This whole game I had no idea how to heal. So that's a good way to figure that out. $10 for a drink. That's steep in 2023. It isn't like a nickel back then. A dead person drops about $10, so it looks like all I have to do is kill somebody to live longer. There are a few strangers you can interact with across the map, and they have various quests that they'll give you. This one wanted me to bring a package over to another town, which seems lazy. Don't ask a random stranger to do it, just walk there. It's less than a mile. And now I know the only compass that I need. Yellow is the one leads back to you. Oh, a train. You cannot interact with the train. That is my main gripe with this game. At this point, I had visited every town and I was about ready to set this game aside. So I figured, what better way to retire than to buy a home on a beachside town? And what better way to get money to do so than just... I think if I stand really close to lawmen, they can't hurt you. Yeah, definitely not. Come on, dude, I'm so close. Yes, okay. I can't go in?
I guess I'm afraid.
Well, at least I died a homeowner. I'm actually disappointed with how impressively not disappointing this game was. Yeah, it was obviously a mobile game, and I would be furious if I had bought a game for my computer and it ran like this, but I can't have my expectations that high, so it's actually a pretty decent game. For as far as mobile games go, I give it 7 yees out of 10 haws. And now it's on to the next game. Now, the next one up is called King of the West, and I'll admit I came in with a little bit of a bias. This one's advertised as an online game, and I hate online games. I like to be able to pause whenever I want, you don't get a lot of control in this life, but I'll be hanged if I can't decide when to pause. Besides that, I don't really like the grindiness of them, and I have this unreasonable fear of being confronted by Dr. Witnesser in the live chat. That said, I never really got to play online, and you'll understand why. I have a good reason. Now, this game starts out with a cool little cinematic to establish the little story that they have going on here.
We must get there first to catch them off guard.
Sounds like a plan.
I think this game uses text-to-speech for most of the voice acting in this. It's already hard to find credits for voice actors in mobile games, but there are so many times when lines are just not delivered how they were obviously intended, or accents will just drop because they're all supposed to sound Western or whatever, like cowboys.
We need to ambush this train. Any ideas?
Oh, hey Arthur, didn't expect to see you here.
Don't worry, you'll love what I
You
got.
are not
Let's
Arthur, get away
familiarize
from
ourselves
me.
with this.
That's fine, mobile games don't always have a very large budget. I think it's actually pretty cool that they were able to do any voicing at all. That said, everything about this guy, save for his voice, is obviously based on Arthur.
Honorable deaths will be remembered for all eternity.
I mean, come on.
Be careful, it could go off.
This gameplay is harrowing. I feel like I'm really there. Ooh. There were innocent people on that train. This type of gameplay, it's just so lazy, I think, and also very boring. But it's easy to make. Like we can play it right now. Thanks. So, you know, enough of the stupid drag and drop gameplay. Let's try some combat, all right?
Finish them all.
All right, maybe get some fighting in. I am pressing one button. I have no directional input at all. You can't control the movement at all. At least Guns and Spurs let you move the character. You can't even do that. You missed. Idiot. I really worked for that one.
Fight me, if you dare. Let's go.
What? Well, that was cool, actually. So far, I'm disappointed, but that's not the half of it. After you leave this area where you have your fight, you find your way blocked.
But our way there is blocked. We need to clear the trees before proceeding. Mr. Jones, leave it to us. We're experts at this.
Okay, cool. Maybe a little bit of new gameplay.
We'd be happy to lend a hand in the future, Mr. Jones.
Oh wow, a barely new aspect of gameplay. Let's go. Don't get me wrong, I really like some games that have minimal combat control. My favorite game of all time is Knights of the Old Republic 2. I know, don't judge me, shut up. But if you want something like that to work, you have to do something else to make the combat interesting. The KOTOR games, for example, have a bunch of different attacks and buffs that you can use for you and your other members in your party, and like it's all affected by the different stats that you built up for the entire game. Meanwhile, this, and I know I played it for all of 10 minutes, doesn't, and it's stupid. It's well within the abilities of even mobile games to make combat more interesting while having a different spin on it. In fact, KOTOR 2 is now a mobile game. It became apparent to me that the combat was lackluster because that wasn't the main focus of the game. It's supposed to be a clicker game with just a small amount of fighting. Kind of like Fallout Shelter. The difference is I liked Fallout Shelter, and Fallout Shelter advertised itself as such. You do, however, get to expand your team by like buying new recruits. Recruit new member, okay.
You're something
Different
else,
character, but I'm
Adam
starting to
Jones.
sense a theme here.
But when we find Juan, I want to be the one putting a bullet through his head.
Yeah, this is definitely text-to-speech. She sounds like Tommy Wiseau. Can we calm down? Sexploitation is a problem in a lot of entertainment mediums, but especially in video games, I think. It's in almost everything, even some of my favorite content. I get it, it sells. I don't like it, but I get it, and sometimes you have to abide it a little bit, whatever. But every woman in this game that appears, let's just say make it very clear that it was made by a dude. So I rate this game 1 Micah Bell out of an entire Vanderland gang. I get what they're trying to do here. I don't hate it. I just don't like it, and it's terrible. Moving on. Our final game up is called Dirty Revolver, and I know what you're thinking. Dirty Revolver? I hardly know. Don't worry though, King of the West was about as bad as that got. I was especially excited to play this game because, as I mentioned earlier, it's just trying to be Red Dead Redemption 2. All the locations look like different places in the game. Your avatar looks like Arthur Morgan if he was run over by a bus.
Out of the way! I can't see!
It's not black water, it's dark water. You get that straight. Don't you talk about things you don't understand. You hear me, boy? It's clearly trying to rip off Red Dead 2, but you know what? I think we should give it a shot. That is some hard music right there. The music in this makes me feel like I'm in an A&E like reality show.
Terrible editing. Weird subject matter. You're watching a stupid YouTube video.
I can aim, let's go. It only took 3 games and hours of playing those games, but I finally get to point my gun. What a breath of fresh air, dude. This one is pretty accurately replicating the duck and cover mechanics from RDR2. Is that one of the most poorly constructed portions of the game? Yes, but they did it pretty well, and I think it translates over to mobile pretty smoothly. It even tried to replicate Deadeye, which kind of works. But that's not all. There's also a horse shootout button. Portion. Are you seeing this? I'm an A-list player, dude. Put me on the leaderboard. Wouldn't be the first game I've been #1 in the world in. I had my own card in it and everything, but that's a story for another video. Okay, maybe not A-list, but look at this guy, little boss man. I wouldn't say I'm challenged, but yeah, I definitely wouldn't say that, but still pretty cool, I guess. You earn money throughout the game as you complete these missions, and like most games, you can use that money to buy better weapons or outfits. You could look like Sandman if you liked, and I did like, so I did. Unlike the other games here, I actually intended to play the whole thing and record it and show it to you, but I was going to go back to Coldwater. I thought I did all the missions there. Oh my gosh. Look at all of them. They have so many levels. There's got to be like 200 levels in this. I can't play all of this. There were so many, there's no chance I got that all in one video. But I think this may have been the best feeling game out of the 3. It didn't even pretend to be its own thing. It didn't try to overachieve. It legitimately felt like a well-rounded experience. I give it 9 cruel worlds out of 1 Willie Nelson. That's it for Gaming Trace. Everybody say bye, Gaming Trace. See you, everybody.
I'm forever trapped in this digital prison.
I have to say, this wasn't quite the experience I expected out of making a video like this. I expected them mostly to be borderline unplayable, with maybe one gem among them, and that one would be trying to like emulate Red Dead Revolver a little bit. Red Dead Revolver is like so much lower processing power than the other two, and it was made so long ago I figured maybe that would be up to snuff for a mobile game. But come to think of it, Red Dead Revolver was maybe one of the most difficult gaming experiences I've ever had in my life. And that was with an Xbox controller, not a stupid little touchscreen. So it makes sense that they had to break the gameplay down into little, kind of dumbed down sections. I was actually very impressed with Guns and Spurs 2. Really, King of the West was the only one that dropped the ball, and even it tried to have like some cinematics involved, which was actually pretty cool. End of the day though, I think it's really cool that we can have even experiences like these on these little handheld devices. It's really amazing that we live in a time where we can make these stories, and they're not just for watching, but we can actually interact with them and feel like we're a part of them. And there's so many, we have no shortage of them. It's probably not that far off that we can have an experience like this on something like a handheld phone. Pretty cool, I think. Anyhow, this video is probably going to get copyright claimed. I used a lot of copyrighted material. I'm not monetized, so that's not a problem, but I sure would like it to be. So if you'd like to help with that, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, the bell button, hit the comment button, then hit a bunch of buttons on your keyboard. Maybe those buttons could tell me what you thought of this video. Took me a really long time to make, but who knows, maybe I can make another one like it. Anyhow, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.